Hello, folks, and welcome to today's episode of the Hospitable Hosts podcast. Today, I'm speaking with Siddhi Mittal, co-founder of Yhangry, and today we're going to be learning all about private chef experiences and why you should be adding them to your arsenal of guest experience services. If you enjoyed today's episode, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Okay, hello, Siddhi. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Miles. Excited to be here.
Well, thank you for joining us. So, Siddhi, to start off, can you give us a bit of an introduction of yourself, kind of your background, and maybe introduce Yhangry a little bit?
Yeah, so I was born in India, went to uni America, Columbia actually, and then got deported to London. I say deported, but immigrant visa issues. Spent the next 6.5 years on a trading floor, trading financial credit debt, very random, but found my co-founder, and that's how Yhangry started. Like we both wanted to build something, and we saw there was a gap in the market where hospitality workers, aka private chefs, or like chefs in restaurants, are paid very
Mm.
little, whereas people think private chefs are so bougie that they think they can't afford it. So I just thought that was crazy coming from India, and my co-founder is Chinese, and we just wanted to bridge the gap, a platform that makes it so easy to hire a chef at the same cost as a restaurant, for dinners or meal prep or whatever. So that's really how Yhangry came about.
Nice. And originally, Yhangry started as kind of private chefs in people's homes for, I guess, themselves and their friends, right? How did you bridge the gap from going, from dinner parties to, an amenity for short-term rentals?
Yeah, absolutely. We thought all through our journey, wow, it's just going to be birthdays, dinners, people's meal prep. So the funny thing is, last year I was looking through our data. 55% of our bookings are coming through vacation rentals. I didn't even know the name vacation rentals or short term rental.
Mm.
We just asked our customers, are you booking at your home or a rented venue? Because usually the chef needs to adapt better if it's a rented venue. And turns out, lo and behold, like more than half of our business is already in this world. And that's when we started saying, okay, well, how can we partner with these homes so they can offer the chefs? And the simple why was, as a business, should we pay Facebook, Google to get this customer if we could just pay this back to a property manager? So that was like the intro into vacation rentals, and it just like literally happened last year. And it's been quite exciting because since then, yeah, we've like really figured out how to partner with property managers and kind of grown to 130K plus units in UK, etc., etc. But yeah, our journey has still been relatively short, 1 year.
Nice. So obviously, yeah, the business is growing at a rate of knots, which is fantastic. Why do you think you're seeing kind of? I mean, obviously, there's many reasons why you're growing specifically, but I think why is that kind of growing as traveler behavior, and why are people wanting to book private chefs as an amenity?
Yeah, of course. I mean, firstly, if like anyone's on social media, TikTok, Insta, you see, oh my God, I had a private chef dinner. And all these reels are just so Instagrammable, or like
Mm.
they just like social media just really catches on fire. And I think this coincides with the trend that our generation, which is millennials, and then actually Gen Z, even more so, are looking at experience first travel. They want to do things, see things, whether it's like try that insane donut in the city or have this private chef at their villa with all of their friends. So I just think, yeah, we're seeing that actually play out now. And I think I was shocked at the fact that our business is like, wow, people are booking in holiday homes or vacation rentals. And I just think people want to create memories, and when they go off on holiday they don't just want to sit in their home or just travel the city. They want to do some cool stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think a lot of hosts think of amenities as being kind of physical items, hot tubs, fire pits, things that they have to kind of kit out their home with. Obviously, experiential amenities are growing. What do you think, like, the impact on guest satisfaction is, like the difference between those physical amenities and having those experiential amenities?
Yeah, great question. So I would say, like, I mean, physical amenities are great. I do think like I look for that also when I'm trying to book a
Hmm.
house. But I think ultimately, like when like we see a lot of reviews and pictures from like vacation rentals where people are like, oh my God, you celebrated like the best birthday with our family, or Hindu, or like sorry, bachelorette is what they call it in US. And you can really see they kind of have this like moment in the property and they're going to remember that forever. And I think that's probably harder to replicate over a hot tub, which is very cool, but you probably it's not like left an everlasting impact on you, same as like a chef. And I think why potentially like something in your home is different is people can always leave your home and go out into the city, but that's the
Yeah.
memory they created into the city. That's not really a memory associated with your property per se. So I feel like, yeah, I think the private chef space is just so interesting because it is something that allows people to create memories in your home in their travel, which like really means like, yeah, we even see unique generated content where people will post about the homes and the chef and be like, oh my god, this was like the best day ever, and they'll start recommending all this to their friends.
Nice, yeah, and I guess the fantastic differentiator as well is, a hot tub is quite a large sunk cost to have one of those installed in your property, whereas, the private chef experience, there's essentially no cost to the host, right?
Actually, there's no cost, and if a customer books, they get paid for it. So it's inverse. You win, you make money.
Nice. I love it. So I guess maybe explain that a little bit further. So, if a hospitable host is wanting to kind of offer Why Hungry at their property, what does that look like? How do they get started?
Yeah, super simple. So for now, we literally will just have a very quick call with you and give you a unique affiliate link. This is something you can add into your emails, SMS comms with your customer. If you have a website, let's chat, let's add it there. So any of these touch points across the customer journey will give you sort of like any assets, what text to write, but it's literally it does not depend on what tech provider you use, and you can just kind of do it right away. You don't need to wait for a developer. And I think those things are quite important. And then as a result, when the guest gets those comms, they just click on a link. That's it. We take care of the rest and we can like measure all the metrics and send it back to you. So it's really just adding a couple lines of text across email, SMS, and website or any other guest touch points like guest books, etc.
Nice, yeah. So obviously, quite hands off for the host. Maybe you can just give a bit more detail then as well on kind of the guest experience as well. Like, what does the journey typically look like for a guest that's booking one of those experiences?
Yeah, of course. As a guest, you click on the link, you go on our website, you answer a quick few questions. Then you see loads of different chefs and actually personalized menus to what you want. So people might be doing a multi-day stay or a birthday, blah blah. Then our customers actually love to chat back and forth with the chef to personalize it. This is quite important because if you think of a group, they will have a dietary allergy. There will be one
Yeah.
person who's gluten free or vegan, and the chef needs to be able to accommodate stuff. So we see this back and forth as like really rich because they're discussing with the chef and they're customizing and they're preparing for their event. Then they click book, they book it on our event. Like we are, think of us as kind of Airbnb, but for chefs, where we will then take the payment so the customer's safe. Then on the day the chef arrives, the chef will actually do everything, cooking, groceries, clear up, and everything with the customer. We also actually send like really adorable printed menu cards for the table just to add a little bit to, yeah, the table. But yeah, that's kind of like what the guest journey looks like from the online to the offline.
Nice. And obviously, as you said, there's the ability to earn commission. As part of the hospitable partnership with Why Hungry, there is a 10% commission on every booking. Would love to understand, realistically, what hosts are typically seeing in, like, how much are they earning? How much does a private chef cost? I have absolutely no idea how much that would
Yeah, I
cost to
love
book.
that. So actually, in America, our AOVs are somewhere between $1,500 to $2,000. You can book a
Okay.
chef for just one night for $500, like for five people or like six people. It's possible, but that's the AOV we see, which means you're getting 10% of that for each booking. You could be getting $150 or $200, which is pretty sweet and decent. And I think just to give a sense, one of our partners in UK, they have 200 to 250 properties, and they earn anywhere between 3K, yeah, 3K a month, which is like, oh God, let me do the math very quickly. Uh, Whoa, yeah, like 30K a year, which is quite
Yeah.
significant. And I think the one thing we really want to flag is, yeah, like you only earn proportional to how well this is in the guest journey, because this isn't really an afterthought. This is something that you are leading and saying, wow, we offer this, and that's a differentiator. So the more you do it, the higher the chance the customer will actually see that and then they'll book. Yeah, but I think, yeah, that's kind of what you can earn, around 150 to $200 per booking, and then yeah, 200 properties, around 2 to 3K a month.
Nice. And just kind of from your experience on kind of all the bookings you've seen so far, is there a certain type of vacation rental or kind of a certain market where you tend to see more bookings, or maybe it's a certain guest profile where you tend to see more bookings?
Yeah, great question. So we definitely have like more of a product market fit in some areas. Number one, if someone's celebrating, actually, as a couple, if you're celebrating a proposal or anniversary or something really special, that's like a big one for us.
Mm.
Second, birthdays, bachelorettes, all of these celebration events, people look for a chef because they just kind of want to have a great time. Third, larger groups do well usually. So I would say 6+ is really like it's like a natural fit because you fit around a table, it feels like a restaurant. People still book for two, people still book for four, all that still happens, but yeah, 6+ is big. And if you are more luxurious, that's almost like 100% hit rate because these people are already used to kind of having chefs when they go on booking. So I would say that's kind of like, yeah, very very target. That being said, 50% of our customers have actually never booked a private chef before, so it is something that's growing, it's unique, and
Mm.
actually more people coming through your property are probably discovering this for the first time. At least one out of two customers have never done something like that before, even more. So it's definitely something that people have not necessarily done before.
Nice. Yeah, I was going to say actually, as the prominence of it grows, do you start to see more short-term rental hosts adding it onto their listings as well? Like, do people reference it in their Airbnb listing, for instance?
That's a great question. So, people who come through our website, about 50%, all of these numbers are 50%, it's wild. About 50% of the people that actually are requesting a chef and say it's at a rented venue don't know which rented venue yet, which
Mm.
means they're still choosing between like A, B, or C option. They just know they're
Interesting.
going to Utah. They want a private chef because that seems really cool. They've seen it somewhere on social media and they want to book. What this means is if you were the one saying, actually, you can we offer chefs, that's a huge competitive advantage because then the customer is like, oh my God, amazing. So the customers already are going on Google, TikTok, Insta to curate experiences and activities. And yes, I actually like hate the word upsell sometimes because it feels very salesy and it feels post booking. Whereas most of these decisions are being made pre booking, like in the, oh, I want to figure it out, I want to explore what's out there stage, which means the earlier up it's on your listing, that's actually a competitive advantage for your own conversion.
Nice, that makes sense. And we'd love to kind of get into a bit more on, I guess, the quality control side of things. So, obviously, you're bringing in a private chef into your property. How does Yhangry kind of ensure, safety and, I guess, reliability of those high quality experiences?
Yeah, absolutely. So, look, we've been a platform here way before vacation rentals. And I think the thing that we care about a lot is customer experience, keeping the money safe, making sure, yeah, you have a positive experience all the time. And how this looks like in practice is, of course, we hold your money safe until after the event is released. We vet every single chef. We have like quite a sophisticated onboarding system with lots of different parameters that vets chefs. Ultimately, we also have reviews, which is kind of like the bread and butter of marketplaces nowadays. Like you want to kind of book chefs
Yeah.
and see what people have been saying about them. And I think in terms of just like I guess our review rate is like over 97.5% as 5 stars. And I think that's quite important for us because we're just making sure every single experience is great. Yeah. And I think like the times where it really comes down to like just making sure the expectations are clear between the chef and the customer. So like our platform also creates those very clear guidelines when the customer chef are communicating on what the chef is quoting and like what the customer is paying for, etc.
Nice. And I assume there is kind of fail safes in the sense of cancellation policies and last minute changes from both the guest side and the chef side.
Absolutely, yeah. Like for guests, it's super flexible. They can cancel literally up to 7 days before the event. It's fully
Mm.
refundable. It's actually a little bit too flexible. On the chef side, yeah, absolutely. Like if a chef does cancel, we'll find a replacement, and then we literally almost have like close to 0% flake rate from chefs because it's so tightly controlled, and we will blacklist a chef that doesn't show up.
Nice. Okay, cool. And so I guess one kind of final question around kind of, if I've decided to, start offering Why Hungry and I want to kind of get this into my listing and into my messaging? What are some kind of top tips for the best way to kind of start messaging this and encouraging guests to actually book a private chef experience?
Yeah, I love it. I think just the short form is just think of your guest experience. They interact with your listings, whether that's your listing, whether that's your website, whatever. Then they probably at some point, whatever your comms are. So it's your listing, any of your email comms and SMS, whatever you do it. Those are your points where you want to tell the customer, hey, we also offer these amazing amenities, for example, a private chef. So that's what you want to do. We in terms of what works in copy really well, sometimes people are so shocked what a private chef costs. I actually haven't said it. Like you can hire one for $60 per person, all included, groceries, clear up, everything in your home. And imagine you're saving on like drinks markup. So you should say, hey, this is like the cost. Or like people love booking us for like larger groups or occasions. Like feel free to check that out. That's the kind of stuff that does really well. So it's just like creating those 2, 3 lines and adding it in your guest comms and then using the Yhangry affiliate links so you get paid.
Nice, that makes sense. Cool. And then we'd love to kind of talk about, I guess, Yhangry's vision and growth. We're recording at the end of 2025, probably releasing at the very start of 2026. What does 2026 look like for Yhangry? I know currently, you launched in the UK, kind of growing in the US at the moment. What does expansion look like for the brand?
Yeah, like we're so excited. So just to give some context, like we did Y Combinator in 2022, where kind of like the likes of Airbnb, Stripe, etc. came out. We spent the next 2 years scaling all over UK and then vacation rental market, which went really well. We launched in US this year, literally a month and a half ago, and it's been so crazy. We already have like 2 times the amount of chefs Airbnb does. We have like a lot of organic demand coming through. So things are looking very exciting. So for 2026, big plans. We'll definitely be like everywhere in US. You will see us a lot. You won't be able to miss us. And also in 2026, we will be expanding in Europe and also the Middle East. So quite ambitious with our international expansion, but we really believe like our product is ready, the customer experience is really good, and now it's just a matter of sort of scaling this across different geos and languages to get it out to the people who'd love to book this.
Nice, awesome. And obviously, you're expecting private chef to grow as a trend, but in the next 12 to 18 months, what do you think that we're going to see in kind of the SDR experience and how that's going to evolve over the next 12 to 18 months?
Yeah, I think a lot of cool stuff's happening, and I think like AI is a theme that no one can really miss or get away from, even if
Mm.
you're like sleeping under a rock. I think what's very exciting here is that potentially things like AI guest messaging or just concierges, like people will start to change how they browse and book travel, trip, experiences, all of this stuff. So I think the more, yeah, so I'm quite excited to see how this evolves, how we plug into the ecosystem. And I think just realizing that actually, like in 12 months' time, people might just be on an LLM kind of saying, create my trip. And you just want to make sure your property comes up with the right amenities and all this stuff for the customer. So it's a competitive advantage. I think, yeah, that's going to be huge, but that's exciting too because stuff's changing rapidly.
Yeah, of course. Okay, amazing. Siddhi, thank you so much for telling us more. And where do folks go to learn more about Yhangry?
Amazing. Yes. Info at yhingry.com. I think that's the easiest place to email. And I'm sure you'll add in some links on this podcast. But yeah, or you can just visit www.yhingry.com. You can also add me directly on LinkedIn and I will message you back personally, Siddhi Mittal.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Siddhi.
Thanks so much, Miles.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast episode. If you'd like to sign up to Yhangry or learn more, go to the link just below in the show notes. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Listen out for a new episode dropping soon.